Oh, okay. So what kind of people live in the neighborhood, would you say? Just
Mm.
whatever that means to you.
Yeah. I mean, I would. How about what kind of people have joined the garden, or is that a different question?
No, a different. Yeah.
That's a
Well,
different
that's a different one. But yeah, but I'll ask that too. But
Uh-huh.
what kind of people live in the neighborhood?
Um, it's all different stripes. I mean, it's lower income, professional people,
Everything.
educated, less educated. Yeah,
So very diverse.
I think so.
Okay.
Young,
And
old.
um, and as far as people living here, would you say there are a lot of people who've lived here a long time, or more people who just have moved in, or
Again, it's some
both?
combination.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, oh, okay. Yeah, let's get to this. Who are the main users, not the members of the, besides the member? Well, actually, who are the main users of the garden, including the members, but also not the members?
Primarily, I think people who live in the neighborhood.
Uh-huh.
Although, like just now, again, people came from Australia and they were walking through the Lower East Side and saw the garden and came in. So, just like in all areas of New York, there's going to be visitors.
Mm-hmm.
And we definitely get our share of international visitors, along with people that live here. When we've had events in the past and we've really gone out and advertised, then we might get people from different parts of Manhattan to come. But generally, it's people who are walking by part of the neighborhood.
Cool. Okay. And how many members would you say there are approximately?
Active members, 30 to 40.
Okay. And all in all, even if they're not active?
50.
Okay.
That I could really be off.
Oh, and you can be approximating.
Yeah.
And then how do you guys? You would kind of went into this. How do you promote yourselves? How do you make it so people know about Mythic Manga or find out?
There's a website,
Mhm.
and there's signage outside of the gate.
Mhm.
Whenever we have open hours, we usually, when we can, post somebody right at the gate.
Okay.
So that we can greet people and introduce people to the garden and provide information verbally, or often we have something handwritten that people can read.
I have
Right, we have that. We also have a handbook, which we don't give out because we don't have enough funding to be able to hand that out. But you can get that information on the website.
Okay. All right. And do you guys, as members, do you work in groups, or is it more individual basis, or how would you describe the dynamics?
Whenever we're doing garden hours, we always have 2 people on at a time.
Okay.
I mean, that's something that shifted into, and I'll tack it onto the safety issue.
Mm-hmm.
We used to just have 1 person on at a time. And depending on what time of the year it is, sometimes we're here when the sun is setting. Mm-hmm. And over time, we just started to realize that it wasn't safe enough to have 1 person on at a time, and that there was no way to really patrol the garden and just have one body. So now we always have 2 people on minimum, but invariably, even though there's 2 people doing their garden duty, like right now we have multiple garden members here,
right,
who are working in their plots, or in this case, they're working on a common project. So sometimes we do things in groups, but the garden hours are done as a duo.
Okay, and then, well, you would do things as groups, as like open house or that kind of thing.
Right. So if we have a special event, then people will volunteer to be a part of it.
And then, are you guys affiliated with any networks or organizations?
Well, this is a Green Thumb garden, so we're part of Green Thumb.
And then CSA, right?
And CSA runs out of here, yeah.
Anything else you can think of? No?
Well, because our garden shares space with the BRC,
Oh, that's the senior
the
center.
senior center, there's overlap between those two organizations.
Oh, and how would you say what the relationship affects the garden, the between the BRC and the garden?
I don't have contact
No.
with the BRC, but there's people like Bob and Kay. Like right now, Kay is working with the BRC to get volunteers from our garden or the community to run English language tutorials with immigrant people who are part
Wow.
of the senior center. So in that way, there's going to be an overlap because there are volunteers from our garden that are going to be teaching English.
I get it. That's cool.
Yeah, and sometimes the senior center rents space to. Kay does something called co-counseling, and so she'll rent space or they give her space. I actually don't know. You can ask her, so that she can do co-counseling at the senior center. So there's that kind of sharing.
That's
So sometimes like when we did the Chinese New Year events, because they have such a high Asian population at their center, there'd be a lot of seniors coming to our Chinese New Year.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And then, do you guys have any other community gardens or any other organizations that you guys are inspired by, or you try to emulate in any way?
You just reminded me that there's a spring event that Jane, whose last name I can't remember, is going to know the name of, where there's a parade that goes from garden to garden.
Oh, wow.
In the spring. And when our kids were younger, Jane would choreograph the children in our garden to do a dance so that when the parade came by our garden, our kids would perform.
That's so cool.
So that's quite inspirational, and that's, I guess, something you should know about.
And
it happens every year.
What does the parade do? I mean, what is it? What kind of parade?
It's a celebration of spring. So people, dress like flowers or like plants or butterflies, birds, and just enjoy the spring and enjoy the garden. So it's a way to get people to travel from garden to garden to see what's growing and to meet other community gardeners.
Wow, I'll definitely have to ask about that. That's really cool. I want to do it.